What I want to go over right now is the Sked bridle rigging. We're going to make a slight change here in the 2021 curriculum update for Reset. If you reflect back on the 2017 curriculum, or those of you guys that have gone through the confined space or general rescue class over the last 4 years or so, the Sked manual and the Sked bridle is a 9mm rope. You tie a butterfly or a figure eight on a bite at the top, and you string the sides down. An element that continues to come up is that a critical point? And if you think back to our critical point assessment, that critical point assessment is to identify whether our system is redundant or not. And continually we would come to this butterfly and ask ourselves, is this a critical point? If it goes away, will the system survive? And in this case, it is a critical point. So anytime we find a critical point, then we survey it with the critical point variance test. We want to know, is it strong enough? It is. Is it of quality manufacturer? This is quality manufactured rope. Is it being used as intended? Yes, it's a knot tied in it and it's pulled on. And then the fourth element of that variance test is there human influence? And if there is, then we trend towards not accepting it as a critical point. And in this case, we have a great human influence. If somebody ties this knot incorrectly, then it's a critical point that potentially could cause a failure point in our system. So the way many other training providers solve that problem and address this critical point is that instead of tying one butterfly at the top, they tie two. So that's going to be our new process. So just like we did before, we're going to find the middle of our Sked bridle rope, come down. That needs to be the knot between, or the point between the two knots. We're going to come here, tie a butterfly, let it flip over, come over just a little bit, tie another butterfly, leaving just a small piece of rope between the two. And then no difference from here. We're just going to rig the side. As a reminder, when you do rig the Sked, you have the option to come in through the top holes for the traditional Sked bridle connection, or you can skip those and come to the second holes, which is the alternative method, and it allows you to pick the patient up without bending the head. We'll do the traditional. We'll come in through these top holes, and then we're just going to string the rope in like we always did, weaving it in and out as we go. Once you get to the bottom, we're going to tie our square knots like we always have, feed the ropes down, and once we get our square knot tied, we'll bring these back up to our handles and tie the second square knot with overhand safeties. When you're preparing a Sked, say at the top of a confined space, to send it down to some rescuers that have requested it, this is what the Sked should look like. Everything pre-rigged and ready to go with an OSS package in it, so that they don't have to do all of this this bridle lashing. All they've got to do is put the person in the Sked or in the OSS, throw them in the Sked, cinch them down, and tighten the vertical bridle. One note: when you go to connect the two ropes, you're going to come up to the top now, and you're going to have two knots that will be part of the vertical bridle. And so when you bring your two working ropes in, we're going to clip both butterflies. And so now you have a redundant connection here into two carabiners, into two ropes, and it's redundant through down to the Sked. So that's the new Sked vertical bridle configuration with two butterflies.